Hello, anime dude dads. My name is Bjorvio, and welcome to the Anime Dad and Anime Dudes podcast. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day and staying warm if you're somewhere cold, or cold if you're somewhere warm. And I hope you had something very pleasant to drink recently. If you haven't been hydrating recently, go hydrate yourself. That's some of the best advice that I could give you, and some of the best advice that my co-host, the Anime Dad, could give you is
Well, we're 72% water, 72.561, I believe. Last time I check every morning and twice a night about my water percentage in my body, and that is really really good advice. The other piece of advice that I'd add on to that is make sure a toilet is nearby, because the more
mm,
you drink, the more you urinate, and that's vital. That's a vital truth in life. But it's great to be here. I am pumped as always to see my friend Bjorvio, and I am pumped to be talking into your ears. It really is a special moment. Today we have an exciting conversation about our favorite anime quote. And that's going to be really, really cool. But before we get into that, I'd like to start off with our three random questions. And because you started last time, I was hoping I'd start this time. Is that okay?
oh geez. Oh, yeah, I guess that's fine. Whatever, I guess. Go ahead. Whatever helps you sleep better at night.
It will actually help me sleep. And it's funny you say
Well, then
that
that's the only thing that
because
matters.
the question is based on sleep. Now, before you go to sleep, Bjorvio, you're lying in bed, you're comfortable, you've got four water bottles, hot water bottles, to keep you warm
Uh-huh.
and cozy because it's cold where you are.
Uh-huh.
You close your eyes. What is the last thought that comes into your head at the end of every day?
Why are my eyes closed? No, I'm kidding. Um, so usually what I do when I'm falling asleep is I'm trying to think about like D&D stuff, what am I going to do in my next session? What am I going to do in my next campaign? This is where they could go. This is some stuff I need to be prepared for. Let me walk through this village in my head. Oh, that's a really shiny thing. Maybe I could add a shopkeep over there. I'll bet they could sell something really cool. What's the dumbest magic item I could? That's about it. That is
Is
literally about how I fall asleep.
that really how you just think about D&D?
Yeah. Normally, I just put myself in whatever world that they're or environment they're about to go into, and I start visualizing it because they say like if you visualize somewhere like peaceful or something, it helps you fall asleep faster. So I just cheat the system and do two things at one time.
That's awesome. That's really cool. You truly are a dungeon master. That's incredible. All right, my next question. Now, you know in the song, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, once I caught a fish alive, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then I let them go again?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, that guy who was catching the fish, some say it's Goku in another alternate universe, and that is where the song's derived from. If you were with Goku catching 6 or 7 fish, what would Goku call you? What would your nickname be?
Um, if I were around Goku and we were catching fish together, I would probably want him to call me something very professional.
Hmm.
This is a very professional environment. I'd show up in a tux with,
Mm-hmm.
a nice tie with Shinron on it. It
Yeah.
looks very, very formal. So I would probably, and I'd, kind of want a name that's familiar to him. So I would have him, uh, probably call me Go Yorvio.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the first name I thought of as well. Bjorvio is a great name. It's a really, really good name. I like that. Now, staying with that theme of Goku, let's say one day me and you perfected the fusion dance.
We will.
We will. It's on our to do list. And our fingers cross, and we look incredible. And we are, so powerful. It's ridiculous. Our name is obviously anime de Bjorvio. I mean, that's not even a question. My question to
Right.
you would be, what would the first thing we say be?
There's only one thing we can say. I
Plus
am here.
ultra. Okay.
Oh, you know what? They're both right. They're on the same track. I feel like it'd be a-okay.
Yeah, I am here plus ultra. That was the full sentence. You're right
Yes.
there. All right, what are your questions to me?
All right. So this is a two-part question, but in order to get to the second part, you have to answer the first part.
Deal.
Um, and this can count as two questions. If you had to be transported into any anime world, actually, no, we'll break this up into one question. I thought of a way to do it. If you could be transported into any anime world, which anime world would you want to be transported into? It get based off the coolness of their swords.
Love it. I love that question. That's beautiful. And I would be. There's only one obvious answer here. And that answer, I'm trying to think of something funny, but nothing's coming to mind. But that answer is Demon Slayer. It has to be Demon Slayer. I need a katana. I need a katana that spits water, that spits fire. And it's just too cool for school. And I wouldn't be the strongest there, but I wouldn't be the weakest there. I'd, I'd, I'd earn the title of mediocre man.
Mediocre breathing. Got it. Mediocre breathing. First form. Just enough to get by. All right. Second question, following a similar theme. What anime world would you not want to be in based off the quality of their cheese?
That's another easy one. You're giving me easy ones today. You're setting me up. I'm going to hit it out the park. All right. Quality of the cheese. It's going to be. It's going to be. It has to be. It has to be. Um, Jack and the Giant Peach. And if you've seen that, have you seen the anime version of that?
No, I haven't. I know there is one. I just haven't seen it yet.
So it's not James and the Giant Peach, it's Jack and the Giant Peach. And based on their storyline and universe that they're in, there is no cheese because there's no cows. So why the heck?
Oh.
I mean, the only cheese they would have is vol cheese or a
Ugh.
sort of vol or rat. And I've tried both, and I won't go back to those forms of cheese.
See, I was gonna go with something like Attack on Titan, but now you've convinced me that there's a worse universe than Attack on Titan's cheese. So I'm with you. Okay, you've convinced me. Well done. All right. Now to tie it all together. You are in the Demon Slayer universe.
Yeah.
You've been trained, but you decide you're going to develop your own breathing style
Mm.
called cheese breathing.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
What Tell me the names of two of your attacks in this style.
Cheese breathing, first form. Gouda Gouda punch. And it's like a Gouda form of punching, and it makes their face like wobbly and cheesy. Second form, Gouda breathing. Second form is is gonna be Colonel Slap. Um, and the reason it's called Colonel Slap is because that's the first thought that came to my head. But it's going to be a slap, and I'm going to grab a piece of that processed cheese, that processed sliced thin cheese,
Uh-huh.
and then hit someone in the face with that. I think I might take, not the super strong, but the lower ranked
Lower
levels.
Moons.
Yeah, 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 lower moon. I'll take a few of those out with those slaps. Mm.
I think here's one that I think needs to be addressed. And I think this needs to be your final form, like
Give
your
it to me.
ultimate strongest one. it's you give yourself a little bit of a speed boost while doing it, so just to help you, and it's called kutta.
Cut the cheese. Yes. That's amazing. That's really, really good. Good questions as well. Now, based on cheese, talking about food, I heard something this week and I was wondering if you ate it. This is off topic of anime very briefly, but it's um, biscuits and gravy.
Oh yeah, that is a fan favorite down here.
Cool.
Absolutely.
And what are the biscuits
I can
made out of? Are they actually biscuits?
Yeah, no, they're like it really depends on where you get them from. Sometimes they're like they come in this little thing that you gotta like twist it open and then it like kind of like mildly explodes and it gives you a mild heart attack, but then it's
Mm.
fine and then you can make them. There's other times where people will make them from scratch. It really just kind of depends. Um, but the gravy, here's the thing. It's not just gravy. There's sometimes you get biscuits with gravy, and other times the gravy has like meat in it, like sausage or bacon or something like
Mm.
that you pour on top. Oh, incredible. I will send you a recipe after this, and you're gonna have to make it because it's a tradition. It is one of the most cultured foods down here in the South.
Okay, I'll check it out. That sounds really, really yummy to me. Um, on the same topic of biscuits and gravy, let's get into our anime quotes. Our top anime quote, and it's funny, mine actually includes the words biscuits and gravy. So that's why it relates.
Oh,
I'll,
so it's from Attack on Titan. Got
it's
it.
Hack on Titan. That's the one. Now
It's
there are
the it's
so
the it's the my soldier speech, right? My soldiers, we will dine on biscuits and gravy tonight.
yes, yeah. Dine tonight because tomorrow we die. Very good. Now there are so many really good anime quotes. It took me quite a while to come
hmm
up with the one that I thought was my top for the moment, my top for now, And you said to me in a message that took you quite a short amount of time to come up with your top, so I'm guessing it's Full Metal Alchemist.
Um, you would think that, and there is. I'm gonna go with the fact that there is one quote in Full Metal Alchemist that speaks to me every single time. But for the sake of this video and not spoiling anything,
Mm.
I'm gonna go with a quote that is actually not from Full Metal. That is my second place anyway, beating out other Full Metal Alchemist quotes.
Okay, I like that. That's cool. Now, what's the context in which this quote is said? Just so I can maybe guess what anime it's from.
Um, it's said multiple times in one anime, but it's said by the same character. To my recollection, nobody else says it.
My Hero
And
Academia.
no,
Okay.
that's like third. That's third place actually.
Okay. Okay. Is it? I was gonna say, is it I Am Here because it's just short and sweet and beautiful.
Actually, yes, I am here is number three. We'll
Yes.
get into that a little bit later.
Okay. All right. Let
Now
me
this.
know.
Okay. I'll give you one more hint. The main time that someone is remembered saying this quote is as they're dying,
Whoa. As they're dying.
but it's not the only time they say it.
Flip. Of course I know who it is. Rengoku, baby.
Kyojuro Rengoku. Yep, the quote is, of course, set your heart ablaze.
That's a really good one. That is a really good one. Why does it resonate with you?
To me, the fire is a very powerful element, and the image of setting one's own heart on fire is powerful because your heart is where your love is, where your passionate is. And so that's already what it's known for. It's known, to as this source of all these really powerful emotions. And then to set it on fire, to set it ablaze means to ignite your passions, your emotions, to push yourself to feel more, to devote yourself to whatever it is you're going to do and to do it well. So like if you have a job that you are passionate about and you're going into something that's hard, you can say set your heart ablaze to ignite that passion. If you're going through like burnout and something is just you're not clicking it, you have writer's block, set your heart ablaze. Remember why you're writing in the first place and go and do it. You have a challenge that's in front of you, set your heart ablaze so that you can overcome it because through your passions, through your emotion, and it's a reminder of why you even started doing this in the first place. It's not a quote for when you are starting something. You already have that passion there. It's for when you're on the journey of 1,000 miles. You've taken that single step, you've taken 500 steps, and you're exhausted. Set your heart ablaze
Mm.
and keep going.
So good and really well said. I need to clip that and chuck it on our social media. That was beautiful, and it's very motivational. And to be honest, since you've told me that quote in the past, I've really used it many times in my life. It's motivated me in numerous ways. So you're right; it is really, really special, and it can really impact someone's life in a positive way.
For sure. I mean, even with me, it helps me with dealing with, my own anxieties and stuff. And when life gets kind of hard, it's like, set your heart ablaze.
Mm,
And that's usually all I have to say. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And I
mm.
mean, and all this is outside of even talking about it in Demon Slayer. I don't even, anyone that's seen Demon Slayer knows I don't have to explain it. I don't have to explain set your heart ablaze in the context of Demon Slayer. That everyone here already gets it. I don't think that needs any more of an explanation than what I've already given for which is almost nothing.
Very good. Very well said. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, my clue to you for what anime mine's from is there were so many choices, but this is my clue. Calamari.
Assassination Classroom?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there's so many good ones in Assassination Classroom.
I
Uh,
There were a few really really good ones, but this one in particular stood out to me, and I'll explain why. Uh, it says there, the world will always be filled with injustice. If you have time to give up or hold a grudge against that injustice, then use that time to enjoy battling those injustices instead. The world will always be filled with injustice. So, what I liked about that is it's so easy to focus on negatives in life. It's so easy to be stuck in negative spirals in life and hold grudges and be negative and focus on the negative aspects of life in general. But he says there, if you've got time to hold a grudge, then you've got time to battle and fight those injustices. So we can make decisions every single day to make our world a better place for the people around us. And it's just how we choose to dedicate our time. And that's why I really like that particular quote.
that's really, really good. I
Mm.
remember that quote standing out to me the first time that I mean, the only time I've seen Assassination Classroom. But no, you're absolutely right because I think especially like I remember even me in my younger years, I did struggle with like, oh, well, this person wronged me. I'm gonna hold that against them and this and that. But the older I got, the more I was like, you really got two options. You can either let it go or you can do something about it.
Mm.
And I think that quote's very powerful because there are a lot of negative things in the world, but a lot of times we don't really take the time to change it.
Mm.
We just say something about it and, just complain about it or just go on their daily lives when a lot of times we do end up having the power to at least do something, even if it's something small in our lives. Like maybe someone wronged us and we've been mad about it. Maybe there's a way to move past that or forgive them or just talk to them about it. I think that's a really, really powerful quote that even just right now, I'm feeling the emotion behind that that quote. And I think that just goes to show how great of a quote it actually is.
Yeah, very, very true. I like that. Very good quotes for both of us. That was lovely. And if you listening have got any good anime quotes that you particularly like, we'd love to hear them. Send them through to us or comment on the Spotify. We'd love to hear what your favorite quote is, and we can maybe give you a shout out in the next episode. I feel that would be really, really good. Now, on that topic of quotes, we're going to lighten things up a little bit because that was deep and beautiful and emotional. Let's lighten things up. On the topic of quotes, on the topic of bananas and apples, I'd like to have a competition with Bjorvio. Okay, like a fun back and forth competition. Not a competition, it's more of a creative exercise. So, Bjorvio, you say a sentence and I'll say a sentence, and we'll create a story or an anime
Ooh.
with our sentences. So you say one, then I say one, then you say one, then I say one.
All
You
right.
can start us off.
It was a hot summer day in the middle of June.
June being the month that the vampires. No, sorry. Start again. All right. It was a hot summer day in the middle of June. Jack went outside, looked at the sky, and thought about what he was going to do tomorrow.
He figured that the best thing to do would be to fly over to see his girlfriend in nearby Tokyo.
He was excited yet anxious as he had never met his girlfriend, but he was pretty pumped up to see her for the first time.
He was scared that her fire powers would be a little bit too overwhelming for somebody with his gift. But just because fire and water aren't supposed to mix doesn't mean he can't at least try, he thinks.
His face was still stinging from the night before, where her father came to visit him and told him, "Do not ever see my daughter once again," and slapped him in the face with a block of cheese.
This was especially bad because he was lactose intolerant.
He didn't sleep a wink that night as he was sitting on the toilet and with an ice pack on his face. But nevertheless, he started to take off on his journey to Tokyo.
As he flew through the many nimbus clouds, absorbing some of their water in order to give him a boost needed with his power and to help replenish some of the liquids he had lost the night before, a wandering thought crossed his mind.
Huh. Why am I still wearing my pajamas? He thought. It was too far to turn around, but he knew that he couldn't arrive at his girlfriend's house and meet her for the first time with his favorite superhero pajamas. And we all know his favorite superhero was.
The Green Lantern. So he did what any logical person would do when they saw a Target sign. He bought a bunch of new clothes, some living room furniture, and some dog food for the way back home. All the while, he was listening to his favorite podcast, the Anime Dad Dudes.
Very good. When he got to her house, he was out of breath, looking fresh and clean in a tuxedo that he bought, and ready to knock on the door. And he did.
Unfortunately, the door was on fire.
His hands started to burn, and as he screamed and yelped in pain, he saw a head pop out the window.
Oh, sorry. I was standing on the other side of the door waiting for you to come in. Please, please, come on in, sweetie. The fire's nice and hot.
He lay there looking up, but trying to act cool. He stood up, wrapped something around his hand, used his water power to cool himself down, and came in. But as soon as he opened that door, he felt the heat of 1,000 suns, and because
Endeavor was sitting in the room with him, he forgot Endeavor was her father.
Dum dum dum. This will be continued in part two sometime in the future. That threw me off. Endeavor's father and Green Lantern's his favorite superhero. My goodness. Very
I
good.
mean, the thing that seemed the most realistic to me out of all of this is going to Target and spending way too much money.
Oh my goodness. It's the same as me with Kmart. Do you guys have Kmart?
There's some places in these states that still have them. It used to be everywhere, everywhere, and at least I don't think they're anywhere here in the South. I think they're more of like a northern thing. I might be wrong on that.
All right. Well, I am gonna go make myself some gravy and biscuits. But could you take us out with an anime voice of your choosing?
Sure, let me think of an anime voice. Why am I blanking on all the voices? Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know why that was needed. Hi, everyone. My name is Azuka Midoriya, and this is the Anime Dude Dad's podcast. We just wanted to say thank you for tuning in today. It really does. It's really special that you all continue to listen. Please come back next week where we have another exciting topic. Maybe I'll be here too. Maybe it'll be Kachan. Um, for your
Shut up,
sakes,
you
I
damn
re
nerd. Sorry.
Oh, Kachan. Well, I guess I won't say what I was going to say, and I better hurry this up because the last thing I want is for you to explode all over my face with your explosion core because that gets really scary, and maybe I'm overlooking into it again. Please come back next week. Okay, go beyond plus ultra.
Plus Ultra.